Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Today we're going to be going over some knives in my collection, and we're going to be talking about a giveaway. Let me just get everything situated here. Doesn't seem to want to let me see if I'm live or not. Let me just refresh the page here a few times. Maybe if I go to a different account, it will work. Let's see here. Come on now. Let me see if I'm live or not. Why won't it work? Do. Is there anybody out there in the world? Today we're going to be taking a look at some knives. The current state of my collection as it stands today. Now, I don't know if anybody out there likes knives. I'm sure they do because we've been getting a lot of growth on the channel. Okay, why doesn't this let me see if there's anybody here? Do. Come on now. Maybe if I go to this account. Let's see here. Doesn't seem like anybody's watching yet anyways. Oh, okay. Let me do that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Well, I guess you really can't look at your own video if you're not the... That's quite bizarre. Well, let's try it a different way. Oh, I got one viewer. Hello, viewer. What's up, Fred Bear? How's it going? I'm just getting things situated here. I'm going to try to pull up the live stream on my computer so I can actually see better, because right now my phone is in a precarious position. So bear with me for a second here while I get this situated. Oh, we've got a bunch of people in the chat. How's it going, people? Yeah, so today is my first live stream. YouTube finally let me live stream after I got 50 subscribers. Thanks so much for all the support. Just trying to pull up the live stream here so that I can see your guys' chat easily. How's it going, Fred Bear? How's it? Oh, here we go. Okay, finally it worked. Let's see what the chat is looking like. Nice. I need about 47 more. Oh, to live stream? Are you also live streaming, Harley Cat? Or Harley Clay? You want to? Also, let me know how the volume is going. If the voice is too loud or if you guys can't hear me. It'd be great if I could get some feedback. All right, so let's go over the current state of the collection as it stands today. So the very first knife that I ever bought was this knife right here. Now this is a case, chrome vanadium steel, and it has this plastic handle scale. I think I bought this for like $77 at some random hardware store when I was like 11 years old. And I had Swiss Army knives before. Obviously, it wasn't the first knife I had ever handled, but it was the first knife that I bought with my own money, and I was super proud of it. And a funny story about it is that as soon as I got it, my brother, my larger brother, my big brother, took this knife and started like opening it and throwing it into a tree, right? Very classic older brother activity. And it caused all this blade play in the knife, which is very unfortunate. I was very sad. But I can, every time I pick up this knife, I just immediately think about that. But either way, it served me well, and it definitely set me on the path for the disease, which is knife collecting, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have out there. Oh, you have a Gerber knife, Fredbear? What kind of Gerber knife do you have? I've never owned one of those. Anyways, that's the story of this knife. So let me know if anybody out there has an older sibling that's stolen their pocket knives and done questionable activities with them. This is a recent acquisition, a Leatherman Arc that I just got for the channel. Super excited to have this thing. It's very interesting. It's a much different design than the Wave, which is right over here. I've had this Wave for like 5 years, I think, and I've used it a ton. It's a really wonderful multi-tool. If you don't have a Wave or any Leatherman, I would highly recommend this model as your first. Harley Clay says, I have two, which is a utility knife and a knife that should be a war crime because of the mods I gave it. Oh gosh, what did you do to this knife? Guys, thanks so much for the support. I have my live subscriber count right here. So if you feel like you enjoy this content, please give the channel a subscribe. We're trying to grow this to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And then also, before I forget, I want to announce this giveaway that I'm doing. If you go onto the channel and you look at my second to last video, you'll see the details for this giveaway. This is a CJRB Pyrite. It's a really lovely knife that I've had for about a year, and I would keep it, but we all know I don't need more knives. So I'd like to give it away to the channel to some lucky subscriber. All you have to do to enter is go to that video where I talk about it, give me a subscribe, and then put a comment below, and I will go back once we hit 500 subscribers, and I'll pick a lucky commenter from below the video at random and ship this knife out to them. So good luck to everyone. Harley Clay says, I gave it Stanley blades and made it so aerodynamic that it literally glides through the air. Wow. So if you're driving your car and you hold the knife out the window and you put it up at an upward angle, the car is just going to take off. There you go. Yeah, so getting back to where I was, the Leatherman Wave was my first multi-tool that I ever got. This thing is awesome. It's the first multi-tool that I had outside accessible tools. So it's super handy. It's quite a heavy knife. Let me get the scale out here. Here we got this Taylor scale. I generally use this for baking, but it's a dual purpose. So today we're going to use it to weigh some knives. All right, let's see how heavy this Wave Plus is. 8.3 ounces. Yeah, it's definitely a chonker of a knife. And then the Arc, I feel like it's slightly lighter. Wait, what? Plot twist of the century. It's actually heavier than the Wave. What the heck? I was not expecting that. Yeah, so it's like 3 ounces or 3 wait, what is this? What is the smaller degree from ounces? The decimals? Tenths of an ounce, I guess. Yeah, the Arc is 3/10 of an ounce heavier than the Wave Plus, which is quite strange. I also have removable barbed wire for battering. You're gonna have to comment a picture of this thing. It can also break through doors if I hit it hard enough. What the heck? Oh my gosh, the mods that you've given this utility knife are quite substantial, I must say. All right, let's put these right here. Okay, so moving on in the collection, I have several Swiss Army knives. This is a abomination which I created at some point. I had a Benchmade knife and I took the pocket clip off. Thought it would be a great idea to drill into this plastic handle scale and attach this pocket clip, which is just horrendous. As you see, it's separating the knife scale from the knife. I could probably pull this off if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that on there. Yeah, I don't really know why I did this. I thought it would be a good idea, but as soon as I put it on, I realized this was not going to work. So I just sort of keep it on there to remind myself this is not a good idea. But this is an interesting multi-tool. It's got pliers. I'm not exactly sure what the name of this thing. It could be called the Tinker, perhaps, but it's definitely seen some mileage. It's quite a heavy guy. This was not me that sharpened this. Please don't think too poorly of me and my skills at sharpening knives. This thing has just been hacked to death. Somebody probably put this on a belt grinder or something. That's horrible. So sad. Anyways, moving on. Got another knife right hither. This is the, what is this called? Oh, this is a much better action. I made a rule in my house too. What's the rule, Harley Clay? K through T. Sorry if I'm not answering the chat at a speedy way, but it's a little bit delayed. Oh, thanks so much for the sub, Fredbear, if you're still watching. Harley Clay, please explain what the rule is in your house regarding this modded utility knife. Oh, you only open the case if it's an emergency. Well, what is an emergency? Please explain. Yeah, so this thing has the standard blade. It's got the miniature blade. Very nice. And the saw. Man, what is this thing called? If anybody knows what this model is called, put it in the chat. Robbery or self-defense? Okay, well, who's going to rob your house after they find out that you have this modded utility knife? In a severe situation, yes, of course, in a severe situation. All right, let's move on to something more riveting. This is a recent acquisition that I started to mod myself, actually. Not so much a severe situation, just, you know, how it goes. As we collect our knives, we like to add things to them. Sorry, the iPad fell asleep there for a second. So this is the Manix 2 Lightweight in MagnaCut. And I went ahead and bought the AWT aluminum scales. Harley Clay, what do you mean by account? I'm confused. Anyways, so we've got the clip off of my Spidey Chef, actually. It goes right here, normally. But the clip that comes with the Manix 2 is not deep carry. Account so I can add. I'm not sure what you mean, Harley Clay. Yeah, anyways, this knife is really, really cool. The action is perfect since I was able to fix this little piece of metal. You can go on my YouTube channel and look at the video where I describe how I fixed this knife. When I got it, the blade centering was really, really bad because this piece wasn't machined properly. All right, DW. That's a good brand of drums. DW drums. Let me know if there's any musicians out there in the world watching this. All 2 people watching. Thanks so much. So I really like this knife. It's a razor sharp. It's actually part of the Salt series. I think some Spyderco Salt series knives have a black coating. And on the screws, they're also black. But I didn't really like that, so I went ahead and got these silver screws. And eventually I'll probably go ahead and upgrade this with a titanium ball cage, because this one is just plastic, which is no bueno. Oh, you're a drummer? No way, Harley Clay. That's so cool. I'm actually a bass player, but I started on drums. I love music, of course. Okay, moving on. Let's go to this Spyderco Stretch 2 XL. This thing is awesome. It's got crew wear steel. Absolutely razor sharp. It's about a 4-inch blade. You're currently learning Stained. I'm not sure what Stained is. Is that a band or a song or a genre of music? If anybody hasn't tried these Spyderco lockback models, they come in several forms. You can get these plastic FRN scales. This is the Stretch 2 regular in K390. Highly recommend either version of this knife. These ones are much more affordable. This was like $150, I think, and then this one was around $200 or something like that. But they're both awesome. This one's much heavier, and it has these full stainless liners that go all the way down the back, and these ones are nested. But you can see the difference in thickness. You get a little bit more thickness on the FRN scales. It's a bit more comfortable. It's a band. They make alternative rock. Oh, nice. If you put in the chat, I'll go check it out. Go listen to that. And then, of course, the trusted Para 3. I've had this for 5 years or so. Used it a ton. This is an S35 VN. It's a really great steel. It's definitely got some mileage on it. You can see the scratches and wear on the blade. I've sharpened this thing many times. I also added a titanium lanyard tube filler. You can see on the regular military 2, it doesn't have that. It has the standard lanyard tube, but these things are pretty atrocious because they're peened inside, so whenever you try to take it apart, it ends up damaging the scale. So you have to very carefully kind of peel this apart and take this lanyard tube out to put that in. But I just like the look of it a bit more without that giant hole. And I also went ahead and rounded all the scales so it's a bit more comfortable in the hand. Highly recommend the Para 3 if you don't have one of these knives. Definitely a great choice from Spyderco. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this, by the way. This is my first live stream on the account. Don't really know what to expect, but just trying to expand the content styles. Have any of you guys watched the videos that I've been posting? I just posted a new video yesterday about the most recent acquisition. It's a break from developing jets. You're a jet developer? You work for like Boeing or something? That's really cool. Harley Clay K3T. What the heck? Wow. It's also funny trying to talk to you because the delay from the chat from when you type your question is like 30 seconds at least. Anyways, let's go on to this Microtech. So I've always wanted this knife. I've been lusting over it for several years. No, I develop custom fighters and nuclear-capable bombers. Wow. Now that is quite an important job. Jeez. So do you use a pocket knife at work? Or what kind of, do you use your heavily modded utility knife at work? Or are you not allowed to take that at work because it's such a deadly weapon? Anyways, if you guys want to go check out the latest video I posted, I go into more detail about this awesome knife. Super awesome knife. I was super excited to get this in the mail. Got it on eBay. This is the Microtech SOCOM Elite. Here we have a really nice 60s, not exactly which year in the 60s because it doesn't have the date stamped on the tang here, but it's a mid-60s, roughly, Swiss Army knife in great condition that I got on eBay. And I really like these older Swiss knives because the newer ones are generally made with cheaper materials and less blade stock. Like you can see, the blade on this newer Swiss Army knife is like half the thickness of the older ones. I don't work with the Ministry of Defense, but I make my own little designs based on other. Oh, so you fly like RC planes? Or what is it exactly that you do, Harley Clay? If you can say. So yeah, if you have a Swiss Army knife, like I think this is the, what is this, the Officer? Not quite sure, but it has a blade, regular blade. There's so many different models, I can't really keep track of them. But this is like the classic Swiss Army knife with the corkscrew, the awl, the tweezers, and the toothpick, the bottle opener, screwdriver, and the can opener. And you can totally tell the difference in the quality from the older knives. They definitely use less steel, and it just ends up being much more robust. So if you ever get a chance to buy one of these older Swiss Army knives, I would definitely take it. Or if you have a relative that purchased one in basically before the 2000s, I would definitely try to buddy up to them so they write it to you in their will, because otherwise they probably wouldn't give it to you. So I draw designs. Also, I made my own little flares, which are based on fireworks. It's a superheated metal tube that explodes with chaff and flares. So, are you just doing this as a hobby, Harley Clay, or do you do this for work? I'm so interested in this. Also, let me take off my jacket. It's super hot in here. Give me a second. All right, we're back. Also, where's everyone from in the chat? It's a hobby. My job is being a pilot. Oh, cool. What kind of planes do you fly? Are you commercial pilot or you're for the military? I'm curious. If you had an expensive knife, like for example this Sabenza. Oh, in the RAF? Wow, so you're in England. That's so cool. Let me ask you a question. If you had an expensive knife like this and you took it to like your basic training or went into a government building or something like that, would somebody steal it? Or would you feel pretty trusting of your fellow compatriots not to take something valuable? Like, what kind of a knife would you actually carry with you and feel safe? I'm just curious. I would be more than likely detained. So you're not allowed to bring a pocket knife, even like a Swiss Army knife, into the buildings for food purposes or whatever. I mean, I feel like a lot of people carry a pen knife or maybe even something like this, like a keychain knife. What are the knife laws like in the UK? Also, what kind of planes do you fly? All right, moving down the collection, here is another Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Native 5 in CPM S110V. It's a really toothy steel with a lot of carbides in it. Kind of difficult to sharpen if you don't have the right equipment. I use a KME sharpener or a Wicked Edge, and I just recently put a superb edge on this thing. This is a nice lockback. It's illegal to brandish and wield a weapon in public. Also, I fly an F-35B. Oh, wow, you fly an F-35? Dang. Do you guys just do like what do you do in a non-combat situation? You just do like sorties and look around? I mean, I'm not really sure what the UK is doing in terms of the Air Force right now. I mean, it's not like an active war zone over there, of course. I guess it must just be fun to fly a plane. I would fly a plane if I was a pilot, but my vision is terrible. Chill, go home, or train. Man, that's cool. Obviously, I understand you can't really tell me anything because it's a military thing, but that's super cool that you're a pilot. What kind of gear do you usually carry with you on the plane? Like, do you just have to wear a specific uniform or I guess a suit to keep you protected inside the plane? You probably don't have much space to carry anything else in there besides like your phone. Do you even carry a wallet in the plane? Here's another really cool knife, the ProTech Malibu. This is a button lock, aluminum handle scales, and MagnaCut blade. Absolutely awesome knife. This is probably my most carried EDC just because it's so small and it has a really nice pocket clip. Super comfortable, very, very sharp, and it's, I think, the only knife that I have with a flipper tab. A G-suit, a sidearm, and a singular picture of my dog. Oh, yeah. The picture of your dog is probably the most important thing. That's cool. Remind me, is the F-35B the Navy plane? Because there's three versions, right? There's the A, B, and C. One of them is for the Army, which takes off on land. And then there's one that's designed to take off from a carrier. And then there's one that's designed with vertical takeoff and landing, right? Which one's which? I forget. Hey, I Need Knives. That's such a good name. I just got a Vosteed TI Mini Nightshade in the mail today. That's cool. I've never had a Vosteed knife. Would you recommend it for the channel? Couldn't pass up on the 50% off sale. Oh, don't tell me about this. I'm going to have to go over there and look at it. This is the Spyderco Spidey Chef that I just got. I did a video on this on the channel if you guys are interested to go check out my first impressions of this. It's a super cool knife. It's a lock, a frame lock, similar to the Chris Reeve Sebenza. You can see the definite design themes that are carried through. This one has a bit of lock stick though. Hopefully that goes away. The A is for short takeoff and landing. The B has SVTOL capabilities, and the C is the carrier design. What is SVTOL? Short vertical takeoff and landing? What's the S? Okay, guys, let's keep going on this. This is a really cool knife. I generally collect knives because I like to see different locking mechanisms. So this one is a super interesting one. This is made by Demco. They make a USA version. Oh, short takeoff and landing. Sweet, yeah. What's the shortest that the plane can take off in? Like, what's the sketchiest runway that you've had to use to take off? Or are they're probably all so well maintained. Anyways, this shark lock is really, really cool. It's a piece of metal and a spring, and you just pull back this bar, and then that drops the blade, and it runs on bearings as well, so it's super smooth. Definitely Scotland. Yeah, they're probably drinking too much Guinness. I forgot the name, though. That's okay. That's really interesting, Harley Clay. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream. You're definitely the top commenter. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I upgraded this. This used to have carbon fibers, tongue twister. Used to have carbon fiber scales, but I went and got the original goat aluminum scales and put this on here. Oh, that's Ireland Guinness, by the way. Yeah, that makes sense. I got my UK countries mixed up, but I'm sure they drink Guinness in Scotland as well. Or is that not a thing? Are they too patriotic to drink another country's beer? This knife is really, really cool. It's definitely one of those fidget knives that you just don't want to put down because it's so fun to open and close. That's JD. Jack Daniels. Oh, yeah. Well, isn't Jack Daniels from the United States? From Tennessee, right? Are you talking about Jameson, Irish whiskey? Jameson is pretty good whiskey. Here we have the Doug Ritter Hogue RSK Mark II. This thing has such a ridiculous name. I don't know why they don't call it something like a Griptilian. Just kidding. There's already one that's made by Benchmade, but this one is better in every way. The Benchmade one has much thinner liners, and most of the time they're not centered. If you're looking for a Griptilian style knife with a axis lock, I would definitely go for the Hogue. Their quality control is much, much better. This is a 20 CV model. I've had this for about 3 years. I use it all the time. Great knife. Highly recommend this. Yeah, Jack Daniels is Tennessee, but we love Jack Daniels. Yeah, Jack Daniels is good, man. I'm sure they import a lot of whiskey over there, all over the world. This is a really interesting Benchmade. This is the 943. Here's the 940, of course. This is like one of the most ubiquitous pocket knives out there. I'm sure a lot of people have this, but I really like the two different blade shapes. This one has a drop point, and it's a stone wash. Or I guess it's a blasted finish. I'm not entirely sure, but this one is the standard belt finish. I kind of use these knives interchangeably, and I generally take the pocket clips off of all my knives because pocket clips are pretty uncomfortable, but that's okay. Any fixies that you like? Yeah, of course. Let me show you a fixie. This is the first fixed blade knife that I've ever had. It belonged to my dad. It's the, what is this? The Buck 118. It's a really great knife. This thing's probably like 25, 30 years old. It's been through the ringer, sharpened so many times, skinned a lot of deer probably. It's aluminum and it has a black plastic handle. I also have the Buck 119. It's the larger version of this knife that is famous from like the Scream movies. The guy always has that knife. But I have the one with the Cocobolo handle. It doesn't look like this with the black handle. But right now it's actually inside my camping gear box, so I couldn't get it out. I'll get it out next time for the next live stream. Yeah, this thing's awesome. Highly recommend Buck knives. I actually just did a review on the Buck 110 on the channel if you're interested in checking that out. Put this back. The best place is when you chug a Coca-Cola during 3Gs and nearly throw up on the person behind me in the Eurofighter when the trainee gets really scared, but it's truly funny. Oh my gosh. What happens if you get Coca-Cola all over the flight instruments though? Like how do you throw up inside of a jet without it getting everywhere? Or how do you even clean it afterwards? Are you in charge of cleaning your cabin, or do you just let the ground crew clean up after you? Is there any classism in the military? Got to pay for one? You have to pay for it to be cleaned? Here we have the Chris Reeve Umnumzon. This is kind of an interesting knife because I didn't know what to expect when I first got it. I mean, everybody raves about this knife. It's like the most popular Chris Reeve model besides the Sabenza. And I also replaced the pocket clip with the little filler tab. But this knife I have a love-hate relationship with because it's pretty difficult to deploy using the thumb stud. Like it hurts your thumb a lot. You can't really get much purchase. So I end up just pinching the blade like this to get it out. And it only works if your hand is dry, which it's not right now. But you just pinch the blade like that and it comes out. And once it's open, I mean, the ergonomics are amazing. Besides this little lock bar tab thing right here, it's just kind of sharp and digs into your hand. But I use this a lot for carpentry work. So when I'm cutting like mortise and tenon joints or cutting a slot in a piece of wood, I use this to break out all the wood because it's just such a robust tool. And with the hollow grind, it makes for really nice wood carving and stuff like that. These are great knives.
It's done.
Next, let's go on this last Chris Reeve that I had. This is the regular Sabenza 31, but with bog oak inlay. I really like the Sabenza 21, which has... I'm joking, we have a jet to wash it. The first really expensive knife I would get is an OZ Rosie. I'm not sure what that is. I need knives. What kind of a knife is that? I'll check it out after the live stream. Or I guess we could just look it up here. The OG or the OZ Rosie. OG. Oh wow, this thing looks awesome. Wow. How much is this thing? It's not that cruel, but if we do get it on the control panel, I got to either court martial myself or pay for it. Oh no. OZ Machine Company Roosevelt. Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures of it right now. Here, I'll turn the camera so you guys can see as well. This thing looks really cool. There's a better example of it. Looks like titanium. What's the blade steel on this thing? Did they make different versions? Also, let me know what the price is. Wow, that's a cool knife. I'd rather court-martial myself. How does that work, court-martialing yourself? Don't you have to be court-martialed by the military court or like a police entity? I didn't know you could voluntarily court-martial yourself. Getting back to these Sabenzas right here. So the regular 21 has a straight pocket clip, which rides along the lock bar here, which honestly I prefer. They updated it on the Sabenza 31 and they turned the pocket clip slightly so that it goes up into here. But I don't generally use pocket clips, and I don't use this knife all that often as an everyday carry. I generally use it just more to play with. Eventually, if I decide to sell this knife, I don't really want to have a bunch of use marks on it. On the other hand, I use this Sabenza all the time. You can see the evidence of snail trail marks all over it. This thing gets a lot of use. Generally, I use this to cook with a lot. It's just the perfect blade shape for slicing food. Does a great job on apples and onions and potatoes and really starchy, fibrous vegetables. Different steels, but I see MagnaCut ones with the milled tie scales going for like 600 to 800 on secondary market. But I'm in like new condition. Yeah, I'm also in like new condition. Generally, I buy a lot of knives off eBay on the secondhand market. That's where I just got this Microtech SOCOM on eBay. Yeah, 600 to 800 sounds decently fair. Is it made in US, of course? Or where is it manufactured? But if you guys ever get a chance to own one of these bog oak, or they come with several different kinds of wood. I think they do a burl, like a maple burl. Also, don't worry, just call me Harley. All right, I will call you Harley. I don't mind. Cool. Sound like a chill guy. When's your next deployment? Do you go out every week, or are you on your off time right now? This knife right here, the Military 2, is awesome. I have had a paramilitary 2. This is the Military 2, the larger version of it. Normally it has a liner lock, but this is the updated version. This thing is just epic. Either when we're attacked or we decide to join a war for no reason. Hey, man. You never say never. You might be employed. Who knows? Or at least we're closer than we have been. How do I win the knife? Oh, okay. So if you want to win the knife, I'm giving away this CJRB Pyrite right here. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I will give this away to a lucky subscriber. In order to win, you just go on the channel and look for the video with this in the thumbnail. I think it's the second to last video that I've posted. All you have to do is subscribe and leave a comment on the video, and I will go back and choose a random comment after we hit 500 subscribers, and I'll ship this out to you. There you go. Oh, the iPad fell asleep again. 63 subs. Thanks so much for the extra 3 subs, guys, during the live stream. Making good progress. I'm currently at my desk designing a little transport car out of Lego. It's currently holding a howitzer. Harley, it sounds like your job is really great. I'm so happy that you're playing Legos. If anyone hasn't tried the Military 2, highly recommend. Spyderco makes several military style knives. This is the Para 3 and this is the Military 2. The Para 2, which goes in between this model, I'm just trying to stay awake. Harley, maybe drink some coffee, some black tea. I know you British folks really like tea, or you could have some like beans on toast or something like that to keep you stimulated as you play with your Legos. Anyways, getting back to the Para. Now I got a monster. Oh, even better. There you go. Got to get your caffeine somehow. So if you guys have a Para 2 or a Para 3, I would say the Military 2 is the best out of all 3 in terms of action and ergonomics and just the way that the knife feels to use. I really like the Para 3, but it's kind of small and you really have to use a lot of finger strength to get the blade to come out a lot of the time, and sometimes it gets stuck in there. But the Military 2 just has so much weight behind the blade that you can flick it out with very little effort, and it just has such a satisfying thunk. Remember, I'm always here too. I'm always going to remember you're there, Harley. You've been here since the beginning. Yeah, so if you guys don't have a Military 2, highly recommend this. They come in all kinds of steels, all kinds of different versions. This one's the CPM 15V version, which is nice because it has the stonewash as well. All right. I think that does it for all my knives pretty much. Oh, we have this interesting Schrade Also, you want to help me build a knife? Yes. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. You think my camera lens is dirty or something? Let me clean it. I think my phone is just an Android. Is that a little bit better? This is a Schrade fixed blade. These are pretty affordable knives. They're kind of scary looking, and I don't really use this very often, but I got this as a gift when I was probably like 15 or so. This thing is just scary. Interesting little fixed blade. If you get the hilt in your way and I do the blade, do you have a forge in? Are you in England? Like, or what part of the UK do you live? I'll be a mix of calm and psycho. Okay. That sounds like a really good collaboration of emotions for a knife. What else do I have to show you guys? Oh, yeah. So this is going to be the next video I'm going to work on, restoring this Swiss Army knife right here. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is like a brand new, or new old stock, I guess I should say, and it also has a different emblem. This one is just the standard cross, and this one has the little red shield. I'm currently based in England. Oh, cool. I've never actually been to England besides the airport. I've only flown through London, but I briefly landed and then left again. Would you recommend tourism in England, or do you guys want us there? Or do you hate tourists? This is an interesting comparison right here. This is like a 2001 model. You can see the little 01 stamped on the tang right there. And this one does not have the stamp. There's actually all kinds of Wikipedia, or like the Swiss Army knife. I think it's called the Wiki, the SAK Wiki. You can go on and look at what the blade stamp is, and you can determine how old the knife is or what decade it was made. Just stay away from the cities mainly. Yeah, that's generally a rule of thumb for most places. I live in Los Angeles, and I wouldn't really recommend coming here. I mean, Hollywood Boulevard is just insane all the time. Santa Monica, Venice Beach. Pretty crazy stuff goes on. So the next video I'm going to make is restoring this knife. You can see it's been used, definitely abused. Probably hundreds of bottle caps have been opened using every corner of this knife. The awl is just chipped. Like, it's just so filled with gunk. There is no longer a screwdriver tip to that. Just a dark abyss inside of here, filled with dirt. So that will be an absolute joy to clean. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. I've got a comment. Let me see the cheapest knives versus the most expensive. Okay. I would say the cheapest knife is probably this little guy right here. This is a Swiss Army knife keychain knife. Nice little guy, very handy for filing your nails. You definitely can't take it to the airport though. There's this guy. Man, this is going to take a while actually. That's actually a good video idea. Cheapest to most expensive knives. I already kind of went through everything. Yeah, it is just a baby. It's so tiny. Here it is against a regular Swiss Army knife. It's much smaller. And then here's like a standard A-Lox. Slightly longer. This is also a Wenger. Whenever the Swiss military commissioned these knives to be made, they used two different companies. They used this company Wenger, and then they used Victorinox. And both companies still exist today, but Victorinox is definitely the leader in terms of the brand. But Wenger still makes some. You can find these in like kiosks and stuff. If you go to the Swiss train stations, they're all over the place. And they do have different design philosophies. The blades are slightly different shapes, and they put different tools in. But this is a cool one because it has wooden scales. Here's the absolute chonker. This thing is massive. I don't even think it'll stay like, oh, maybe it will. You should try and fire a Javelin FAF ATGM. Well, you know, I was going to go to Home Depot and buy like a Javelin missile, but I think they were out of stock. So I'll have to try again next week just to see if I can do that. Let me know if you find some stores that have that in stock. Although I haven't checked Amazon. Maybe they have it on there. So here's all my Swiss Army knives. Actually, this doesn't belong to me. This belongs to a really good friend that I'm going to restore this for. FAF also stands for fire and forget. It's also military only. Yeah, I assumed it was military only, but just making some jokes. I mean, firing a Javelin missile sounds pretty fun. Not for the destination, but that's funny. All right. Well, that concludes today's live stream, I think. That was really fun, guys. Thanks so much, Harley, for joining in. I'm going to go prepare for some lunch. I'm kind of hungry. It is until it nearly sends you with it and stay on. Like it picks you up off the ground and takes you with it. That's so funny. All right, Harley. Thanks so much for hanging out, man. I think I'm going to go ahead and eat some lunch. We'll do a live stream again in the future. Thanks so much for the extra 3 subscribers, guys. If you want to go check out some of my videos on the channel or enter into the giveaway for this CRJB Pyrite, go ahead and do so. All right, Harley, I'll remember you're always here. See you on the next one, man. Have a good time. Bye-bye, guys.